Before we begin, I want to say something important. Stories like this are not just about celebrities. They're about choices, consequences, and how one moment online can change everything. If you enjoy deep stories that break down the truth behind viral headlines, please take 1 second to support the channel. A like, a comment, or subscribing helps us keep bringing you real stories without the noise. Now let's talk about something that just shook the internet. Because one Instagram post turned into a storm that dragged two of hip-hop's most controversial names right back into the spotlight. And what started as rap talk quickly turned into something much more serious. The internet went crazy when a single sentence appeared online. One rapper casually posted that the only rapper who might have more bodies than him is Boosie. Within minutes, screenshots spread everywhere. Fans started arguing. Some people laughed. Some people panicked. And others were asking a terrifying question. Did he just confess to something? Suddenly, people began tagging federal investigators in the comments. Others accused him of self-snitching. And just like that, two rappers found their names trending next to the word murder. But here, where things get even crazier. One of these men had already been tried for murder before. The other had just walked out of federal prison months earlier. So when that Instagram caption went viral, people weren't sure whether it was a joke or the beginning of another legal nightmare. To understand why this post shocked everyone, we need to rewind the story. Because the past of these two rappers is filled with arrests, trials, prison sentences, and controversies that read like a movie script. Main story body: the rapper who rose too fast. First, let's talk about the man at the center of the viral post, Pooh Shiesty. His real name is Launtrell Donnell Williams Jr. And only a few years ago, he was one of the fastest rising stars in hip-hop. His breakout song, Back in Blood, became a massive hit and brought him global attention. Lil Durk featured on the track, and together they created a song that dominated playlists and social media. The energy was raw, the lyrics were aggressive, and fans loved it. Soon after, Pooh Shiesty released his mixtape Shiesty Season, which climbed high on music charts and proved he was more than just a one-hit artist. But while his music career was exploding, his legal problems were growing just as fast. The case that changed everything. In 2020, things took a dark turn. Authorities accused him of being involved in a violent situation during what was supposed to be a simple deal involving marijuana and sneakers. Instead of a normal exchange, shots were fired. Soon after, federal investigators stepped in. By 2021, Pooh Shiesty had been arrested and charged with several serious offenses connected to firearms and violent crimes. The young rapper who had just begun dominating the charts suddenly found himself sitting inside a federal jail cell. And the charges he faced were extremely serious. If convicted on every count, he could have spent most of his life behind bars. Faced with that reality, he made a decision. In early 2022, he accepted a plea deal. That deal dramatically reduced the possible sentence, but it still meant prison time. Later that year, a federal judge sentenced him to over 5 years in prison. For a rapper whose career had just begun, everything came to a sudden stop. Tour disappeared, music slowed down, and the spotlight faded. Life behind bars. For the next few years, Pooh Shiesty was locked away in federal prison. Fans rarely heard from him. Social media accounts stayed mostly silent. Occasionally, his team would release updates or music recorded earlier. But for the most part, he was gone from the public eye. Then something changed. Because of good behavior and federal sentencing rules, his time behind bars was short. instead of serving the entire sentence. He was released early. In October 2025, after roughly 3 years in custody, he walked out of prison. But freedom came with conditions. He wasn't fully free yet. He was placed under home confinement and ordered to stay in a halfway house while finishing the final stage of his sentence. Still, fans celebrated. And one of the first people to welcome him back was another controversial figure in hip-hop, Boosie Badazz, the man with his own dark history. Boosie's story is even more complicated. Born Torrance Hatch Jr., he grew up in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. His childhood was difficult. He saw violence early. He watched street life unfold around him. And those experiences later shaped the music that made him famous. Boosie became known for raw, emotional songs about life in the streets. Fans respected his honesty, but his life outside the studio often collided with the law. Over the years, he faced multiple arrests, drug charges, probation violations, and then one accusation that changed everything: the murder trial. In 2010, prosecutors accused Boosie of something shocking. They claimed he had ordered the killing of a man named Terry Boyd. The case was extremely serious. If convicted, Boosie could have faced the death penalty. The prosecution built their case around testimony from another man who claimed Boosie had paid him to carry out the killing. They even tried to use Boosie's own music lyrics as evidence. Songs about violence were analyzed line by line in court. But during the trial, something unexpected happened. The key witness changed his story. He claimed his earlier confession had been forced. Without strong evidence, the case collapsed. After a very short jury deliberation, Boosie was found not guilty of murder. However, he still had other charges related to drugs. Because of those charges, he remained in prison for several more years. Eventually, he was released in 2014. The new case in California. Fast forward to recent years. In 2023, Boosie was once again arrested, this time in San Diego. The situation started when he went live on Instagram while filming a music video. Viewers noticed something in the video. A handgun appeared tucked into his waistband. Police saw the live stream and began searching for him. Soon after, officers stopped the vehicle he was riding in and found multiple firearms. Because Boosie had previous felony convictions, possessing a gun was illegal for him under federal law. The case moved through court for months. Eventually, he pleaded guilty to the charge. And in January 2026, a federal judge handed down the sentence. Surprisingly, he received time served, supervised release, community service, and a fine. He did not return to prison. The Instagram post that started chaos. Now we return to the moment that set the internet on fire. In February 2026, Pooh Shiesty posted a caption online. He said that the only rapper who might have more bodies than him was Boosie. The internet exploded instantly. People argued about what he meant. Some fans said it was just a lyric reference. Others believed it was reckless to say something like that while still under federal supervision. Because here's the reality. When someone is still under federal monitoring, every word matters. Anything posted online can be reviewed by probation officers. Even jokes can create serious problems. That's why the post caused so much panic among fans. They knew one wrong move could send him back to prison. Soon after, Boosie addressed the situation. He explained that the post was referencing song lyrics, not real crimes. Many fans accepted that explanation, but others remained skeptical. Because Boosie himself had once experienced how lyrics could be used against him in court. He knew better than most people how dangerous those words could be. So what actually happened? Despite the dramatic headlines, neither rapper confessed to murder. Pooh Shiesty was sentenced years earlier for firearm conspiracy charges. Boosie was recently sentenced for a gun possession case. And the viral Instagram caption was simply a social media post that people interpreted in different ways. But the situation reveals something important. In today's world, one sentence online can become a global headline. One joke can start rumors, and one post can bring old controversies back into the spotlight. Both of these rappers have lived through the highs and lows of fame. They've experienced massive success, but they've also faced courts, prison cells, and public judgment. Now the question is simple. Will they move forward from here? Or will the internet drama continue pulling them back into trouble? Only time will tell. If this story surprised you, you're not alone. The internet moves fast, and headlines often tell only half the story. That's why this channel exists, to break down the truth behind viral moments and explain what's really happening. If you enjoyed this deep dive, make sure you like the video, comment your opinion about the situation, and subscribe so you don't miss the next story. Because the world of hip-hop drama, celebrity news, and viral controversies never stays quiet for long. And the next story might already be trending.